Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Nerdy girl again. How are you doing? Today's video is going to be about the EARS meeting, Engineering and Recording Society of Chicago. Today's meeting is about a tour of WFMT and WTTW. WFMT has been bought out by WTTW for $1. Go figure. $1. It's pretty amazing. This puts me in the mind of an incident. It was a few years ago in Englewood, where they were selling homes for $1, but you had to live in the neighborhood. Risk getting shot at, risk getting killed, but as long as you lived in the neighborhood, you could buy a whole home for $1. I wish I could do that. Take advantage of a great real estate or business deal like that. We have a lot of business mergers like that lately. For example, we have Amazon that bought out Whole Foods. Big fish eats up a little fish. Anyway, we're on the route to 5400 North St. Louis to our meeting where we get a tour of the radio and the television studio and certain props. We get a chance to see what they look like on the inside.
A station in Oak Park called WOAK in 1951 and decided to go with classical music. Sold because it was strictly a mom and pop operation. It was owned by a couple, Bernie Jacobs and Rita
Right, who
Jacobs.
sold their car to buy the station.
And Bernie was having health problems. He was getting up there in years. He decided it's time to sell. They sold the station to WGN. And this group basically mounted a challenge. They didn't do it through the FCC. They did it by basically telling GN, you can't possibly run this station. It's going to become, you're going to cheapen the product. You'll end up putting people on there who don't know anything about the music. Within 1 year, they sold the station to WTTW for $1. They said, hot potato, we're going to go with another property. We don't want FMT. So they got rid of us. And we've been owned by Channel 11, a public television station with a commercial licensee sister station that it owns. So we kind of live in this weird territory of both a commercial license and we're a fundraising station, just like a public station, but we do have a commercial license. So as one of my colleagues out in LA says, yeah, you guys are kind of the worst of both worlds. Depending on your viewpoint. But we have those two sources of income, and we're able to fundraise in one of we do only 2 now a year, we are able to do about $1 million from our listeners every fundraiser, or the better part of it. So that's been pretty successful. And then we run commercials, so we get about 50% of our revenue from commercials, and then 50%. But we tell the people who want to place commercials on FMT, sorry, we can't run your pre-recorded agency spot. If you want it on, we'll have to transcribe it and have our announcers. They would not even, our station would not let Andrew Davis, the music director of the Lyric Opera of Chicago, on with his voice because it was not an announcer voice. Wow. So it's just this weird, quirky thing about us, and I'm not in favor of it. I actually think there are times we're shooting ourselves in the foot in terms of the way we're serving our listeners by not having music beds under long stretches of talk when we do this daily rundown of concerts. Why can't I run a little music under that? I think it would make the listening less fatiguing. rather than
that
just
might be good. But yeah, but
No.
remember, occasionally we have to air like political announcements. We're
Oh,
required to do that,
that
and
we
those
have
are
to.
produced,
Yep.
and if they stick out like a sore thumb,
They
it's
sure
like,
do.
oh my God, what is that?
Yeah. So this is where I record. So we have all digital boards, control surfaces now, rather than audio coming in.
Great.
What do you think about it?
I noticed the WheatNet boxes, all IP based.
Mm.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
What are your thoughts on vocal fry?
I'm having a little bit right now. That's what I use vocal spray.
Do you have listeners complain about that stuff at all? Like people write letters or leave angry phone messages or anything like that?
About announcers who exhibit that?
Yes. I've heard horror stories from like podcasts on NPR.
Specifically about
And as Pega Wang bring us two songs by Brahms.
This is the guy I can't
I'm Kerry Frumkin,
yeah.
and that's music from Santa Fe. Tomorrow night at 9 on WFMT.
Yeah, I work with him a lot,
Yes.
and then I will try to sometimes use the ending of his sentences sometimes. But,
It's not fair.
no, it's not that bad. I don't think it's
Excuse me, do you have somebody by the name of Norm Pellegrini still here?
Not
No,
anymore,
he-
no. He
no.
passed.
Unfortunately, he passed away about
So
better part of 10 years ago.
Oh, 10 years ago? Oh,
Yeah, it's been a while. I was going to say he's been gone. He's definitely been gone more than 7.
Right.
yeah.
But he's one of the people who is responsible for the sound of this station.
Oh yeah, I worked with him when I first came here.
Yeah.
I know Norm well. His work is still very much admired and remembered.
Okay, we'll leave you to it. Dennis
Thanks.
is going to be part of our talent for this evening's.
Excellent.
Tickling the ivories.
Yeah.
And it is
Oh, from
gigantor.
Can someone come do that in my house?
Right.
And
Yes.
And then we are getting a jazz library as well. We are getting BEZ's jazz library because we have a jazz network here.
Wow.
We don't air it, but we syndicate it.
this is just CDs and LPs, and on the other side
they're
you'll
not
see
jazz.
the analog tapes.
wow. I'll bet you probably have to teach.
Our tour continues. Of WFMT.
Meet Harry Brock.
Hi.
I'm just uploading Howard's Beethoven Network for our overnight shifts.
Good.
And they'll be playing through the night. Yeah.
by hours.
Hours is in hours of programming that play throughout the night. So we auto-upload hours that Peter Van Graff has already made for our overnight shifts, and then they play automatically through our next gen system.
What format is that?
Waves.
Yeah. It gets kind of truncated down into the system.
From waves, and
But-
then wave for MP2s
Yeah.
for PRX, and then flags for other.
Yeah, so
formats. Yeah.
so this is actually one of our networks as well. So we do the Beethoven satellite network, or it's not, they get whatever hour they want. We used to feed it from here with a dish on the roof via satellite to Telstar, and then they would downlink it. Stations would downlink it. And then we started, and then they changed the rules, and then we had to send it to NPR in DC, and they uplinked it. Now we're working with a company called PRX, and they are distributing our syndicated programming.
The
for us.
Content Depot system.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
Content Depot, exactly. But we still have people who don't subscribe to that, so we do send out still a fair amount of CDs.
We do, yeah. I mean, not that many anymore. Like more rural
Far
stations with poor internet
Yeah,
connectivity?
probably. I mean, we used to send out reels to all of our affiliates. So if we had like a 2-hour program, it'd be like 2 reels.
Yeah.
And then they would have to ship it back, and then, yeah,
I have a question. Is it still called Tallman Through the Night?
not anymore.
Not anymore?
No,
Oh.
it's been changed.
Mind if I take a picture of this area?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, I used to work overnight shifts when we did Tallman Through the Night, and
Yeah.
so I would listen. I would be the equipment babysitter, so to speak,
Yeah.
for that. And then we would get one guy who would call at 3 in the morning and go, I don't really like Tommen. I don't think it's the bank that works. Like, okay, my mother says. That's bank.
Tape, come check it out.
Oh, analog tape. Yeah, I love analog tape.
This is this office, and I just brought some speakers.
This is so cool.
And this is, you know, a Studer. I love Studer, and I made my reputation with Nagra, which is a Swiss tape recorder, and with Studer. But Studer is a Buick, very reliable, always runs, has some degree of luxury, has good sound, and is very reliable. In fact, its hallmark is that it's very reliable, and it's used for broadcast for that reason. This, on the other hand, is like a Maserati or a Ferrari, and everything that's not needed has been taken away, and its only reason to exist is for sound quality. And you can't do anything fancy with this. This is also a Swiss machine. It's called Stella Box.
Enter Ariel. All hail, great master. Grave sir, hail.
Now listen
I
carefully.
come to answer thy best pleasure. Be to fly.
This is a tape from December 31st, January 31st, 1991, called The Consort of Music.
Bidding task. Ariel.
It's a man called the Consort of Music. Anthony Rulli plays the lute, Emma Kirkby sings soprano, and David Thomas sings bass.
Yips and half track or quarter track.
This is a full. This is a half track, means record only one direction. This machine only runs at 15,
About magic.
and it has a super wide head, where a regular head on a tape recorder is like this. This is like this, and so
Tonight we learn to fly.
Is it 2 channels? Or?
2 channel.
So you couldn't play this tape back on a different machine?
No, you can. You
It
can.
wouldn't. Okay, it would still play in a Studer, but sound different.
This was
with a different-
recorded on a Nagra 4S,
Okay.
but playing back on a Stella Box. And
Is this-
question is, do you hear any hiss?
Florence, from Rome, from Naples, from Venice.
No.
Italy was just full of new ideas.
No, you won't.
Is this 7.5 inches per second?
It's at 15.
Oh, 15.
So I'm going to go ahead here and let you hear a little of this, and then I'll be doing it enough to record them.
Stella
Not a
Box.
computer inside.
No, not
Stella Master. So you said 12 grand in 1985 about? Excuse me, what's your name again?
My name Sarah Sue Jones.
Sarah.
S-A-R-A-S-U.
Yeah.
I use my first and middle names together. and then my last name is Jones. So if you spell, so if you spell Sarah and Sue with as few letters as possible, you got it right. SARASU. No H, no E.
So is your maiden name Japanese?
My maiden name is Jones. That's my dad's fault. That's where Jones comes from.
But you're part Japanese?
My mom was Korean. My dad was Caucasian.
Oh,
So I'm
I
half
see.
Korean. But I was born in
half Korean.
China.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were? 안녕하세요.
What happened? I mean, I've always been interested in language anyway. I was originally studying to be a linguist.
Tape studio, they have an extensive tape studio. Here is more. Excuse me.
Okay, so I got Netflix. Broadcast changes all that.
Yeah, that's all. What's your philosophy, Mary, on mic technique? I noticed you tend to give things a lot of air. Is that
Wow, it's pretty neat.
or is that because it's kind of easier to not end up with peaky sounding things when you're on air, or a bit of both? Or neither?
Maybe a little bit of both. So yeah, I'm a big advocate of stereo pairs. I will do stuff in stereo pairs whenever possible. Just phase coherence tends to be better if I'm thinking about it in terms of that. Don't squish the B&Ks, please, thank you. Some people are purists and will only do stereo pairs. I'll do combinations of stuff. I'll do a lot of spot miking. In here I need to do some spot miking because I just need the clarity. If I'm doing a concert in a concert hall, I will often just rely on a stereo pair. And then spot mic if I really, really need to. Here the mix is generally a balance between the stereo pair, the main stereo pair in the room, and the spot mics. If I were to do that kind of combination in a concert hall, it would be the stereo pair would be the main part of the mix, and the spot mics would be just blended in.
Is it about 50-50 in here, or?
It's about 50-50.
I notice you often sort of aim things quite a bit above instruments. What's your philosophy on that?
Direct Out is the name of the company.
Oh.
And then you have some Grace mic pre, but the main sound is this right here, this conversion.
So you can buy the euphonics without converters, and it just feeds like a MADI.
This is you have to put it with converters, and this is what they represent.
But what
This is
sort of,
what
what
I
sort of a
specified.
protocol? It feeds from the euphonics.
This is what I specified for
Right.
here.
What is the protocol that is feeding it? Is it
MADI.
It is MADI. Okay, answer the question. It's MADI. It's MADI.
This I call the game controller. I lobbied for a Rupert Neve 5088 console here. But they bought this, and they bought the same thing for downstairs.
Whose call was that?
Television.
Rhapsody in Blue.
Visuals, audio 101 is visuals are always more important.
It's a slightly discontinued board. They had two of them. They gave them a two.
It's not a discontinued board. They're still making the same.
That's not bad. I got asked to get out of Foster.
Come on in, because she will not repeat herself.
Were you on Facebook where you clapped and there was just one echo that came?
Right. Yeah.
What was that?
It's just,
So like a dome play, almost there.
almost. Yeah, you're right.
Like it just hit your back or something.
Yeah. So this is the Granger studio. This is actually a completely new wing of the building. It's been built maybe 20 years ago. It was added onto the building. This is the largest soundstage in the Midwest. Part of the set for something. Probably it's yeah, but it's a slightly strange setup because they're union down here and we're not.
Right.
We're not. So they can.
Changing sample rates is a union.
That's a union task. Yeah, so they can come up really easily and shoot stuff up there. I've actually done audio for them when they brought their cameras upstairs. I just can't come downstairs and work, even though several people would like me to. But, yeah, it's a little weird. I'm hoping we're gonna get a new CEO and I'm hoping some stuff changes, but we'll see.
So they actually have union audio people.
Yes. Well, they're IBW, they're TV people, they know TV.
This has been a pretty nice tour. I found it very pleasant, very enjoyable. I have some disappointing news. I ran out of memory in my camera. My bad. I take the blame for this. I wanted to make a video clip about the inside of the television room. The television room is very similar to the radio room. So, otherwise, it was a very enjoyable tour. And boy, would I love to get my hands on that small reel-to-reel deck. I got a few reel-to-reel decks of my own. I've got audio and video in every imaginable format that you can think of. I have it in the form of 45 RPM records. I have 33 1/3 RPM LPs. I have CDs. I have DVDs. I have VHS tapes. And I have 8-track tapes. Maybe some of you who are watching haven't even been born yet when 8-track tapes were the sensation in the 70s. But anyway, you name it, I got it. Anyway, if you're enjoying these videos, one thing I forgot to say. WFMT, by the way, I have to tell you that this is now our only classical station on the air. In Chicago, we used to have 2 classical music stations. WFMT, which is 98.7 FM, or 98.7 megahertz, and WNIB, which used to be our other classical music station that had 97.1 as its frequency. That has since been changed to a rock and roll station. And that rock and roll station is been going strong for the last 3 or 4 years. So yeah, now we only have one classical act, which is really, really, very sad. That we are, as a society, have really drifted away from using classical music as a venue of choice for listening. Anyway, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. And everybody in YouTube land, thanks for watching.